Hey everyone, and welcome back to FSi DFS. I'm McKinley412, ready to break down possibly the worst slate that we have seen all season long. Like, this is ugly. You got a lot of defensive-minded teams. We got a trio of low over-unders, and just some really horrendous power plays going up against also some bad penalty kills. So we're in for a treat. Should be exciting. I do recommend playing light. I'm going to be going much lighter on this slate than I normally would. But let's just kind of dive right in and you'll quickly see what I'm talking about. Two big favorites, Kings at home against Seattle. LA Kings are on the back end of a back-to-back. Winnipeg, minus 160, second biggest favorite, and pretty much a pick 'em in this third game. You can just see that the over-unders, there's not a single 6.5, which is, I think, the first time this season that has happened. Only 3 games, but still, pretty telling when 6.5 is like the norm. Projected goalkeepers, here you go here. Klemper's really the only guy struggling so far this season. Talbot's looking really strong. Wouldn't shock me if he is going to be the most popular, especially in cash games. Oh, Brossoit, also, new team. He was just traded. He got traded from the Vegas Golden Knights over to Winnipeg, so it'll be interesting to see how he's going to perform with that new team in front of him. So going to the line stacks, and these two line stacks should not be any surprise whatsoever. We're going to start up here with the LA Kings top line: Byfield, Kopitar, and Kempe. If you watched Tuesday's preview video, you already know that we talked about these guys then. They've been very solid, very productive in their past, 5, 6, 7 games. Byfield and Kopitar have seen their salaries reduced in this matchup compared to what they were on Tuesday. But still, LA, I already mentioned they're on a back-to-back, but I think that this line, along with this top line of Winnipeg, are just going to be the popular stacking options. Ehlers, Scheifele, and Velarde for Winnipeg. I do fully expect Velarde to be the most highest owned play on the day, especially in cash games. He has just been an absolute machine ever since Kyle Connor went down and Velarde got bumped up to that top line with Scheifele, with Ehlers. Ehlers also is just way too cheap. They fully correlate on the power play, which really doesn't mean too much on this slate. You can see out of the 6 teams, only one of them is top 13 in terms of penalty or power play. But you can also see we have a lot of very bad penalty kill units to go along with it as well. So I think that these two lines, it's going to be the chalk is right there. If you want to get different in GPP, just fade these 2 lines, fade these 6 guys, and you'll pretty much be different. Going over to some individual plays, and I know I didn't even fill out this. I couldn't even find 3 centers that I liked outside of Kopitar and Scheifele. I guess you could go with Bo Horvat is another option that I do like. I'm fine with either of them. I would definitely, lean a little bit more towards Nelson in this matchup than I would towards Bo Horvat. But I do like Nelson here. Both those guys, though, are shooting the puck quite a bit. Both of them have been very productive as of late. Nelson, just given, how in the NHL you can match lines as the home team quite a bit, it does tend to lean for some players to do much better on the road as opposed to at home, just based off of line matchups and everything, which is why I do lean Nelson in this matchup here. Then we're going to go with Strome, 5.1K for Washington top line. Islanders, they allow a lot of shots against. They allow the second most shots against per game so far this season. And Strome, he's been shooting the puck, and honestly, he's looking a whole lot better. He seems to have turned the page this year compared to what he's done in years past. So good for him. He's going to be skating alongside Ovechkin and Tom Wilson. So I guess I gave you another trio stack who I could have a little bit of interest in, but it's a little bit. But yeah, so Ovechkin, Strome, Wilson, don't mind any of these guys. I think that they could be a nice correlation play. Just that the Washington power play, sub 10% proficiency, whatever you want to call it, that's just horrendous. But not as horrendous as the Islanders finishing dead last on the PK so far this season. Islanders are also going to be on the back end of a back-to-back, so it's going to be interesting to see if Washington can take advantage of that. Bjorkstrand, he's just another cheap winger that I would have some interest in for Seattle. I do think that Los Angeles is going to be able to control play, keep possession of the puck, so I'm not expecting a whole bunch of shots for Seattle, but still, even when there's limited shots on that team, Bjorkstrand is really leading the charge in terms of generating shots for. Going towards the defense, Morrissey, you're going to be pairing him with this Winnipeg trio if you are going with that large, chalky kind of route. But he is today. He took a puck to the face, so it remains to be seen how he's going to be feeling. And if he is out, I'm going to have a whole lot of interest, and Pionk's probably going to be pretty popular as well if he's going to be out, because Pionk's probably going to be moving up into that top power play unit and really into a top role for this Winnipeg defense. Aside from that, defenders-wise, it's ugly. There's nobody that I really felt comfortable being like, yeah, I'm going to talk about you and I'm going to feel great about it. It wasn't happening, and I wasn't going to force a name in here. So, yeah, it is a pretty ugly slate. We got a lot of, ugly offenses, but we also have some pretty ugly defenses to go along with it. But Vegas still seems to think that these games are going to be pretty low scoring. Here's your chalk right here in terms of cash games. If you want to go GPP, just fade these guys. And that is going to be that. So not a long video, pretty straightforward. Tomorrow is going to be a much bigger slate, much different. We'll have a lot more to talk about there. So hope to see you then. But as always, good luck in your contests, and we'll see you tomorrow.